Have you ever stood in your kitchen holding something you thought was healthy and had a nagging feeling that you were being lied to? It's a feeling many of us have. We trust the smiling joggers on the cereal boxes, the earthy tones on the granola bar wrappers, and the comforting words like 100% natural or low fat on the labels. We grew up believing that certain foods were simply good for us, a safe choice for our families and ourselves. But what if that trust has been misplaced? What if the foods we rely on for a quick breakfast, a healthy lunch, or a light snack are secretly filled with ingredients that work against our health, not for it? Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to expose the clever marketing, the hidden sugars, and the chemical shortcuts behind some of the most popular healthy foods on the market. Get ready to look at your grocery list in a whole new way as we dive into 14 foods that nutritionists say you should stop eating right now. Number 1, so-called healthy breakfast cereal. Remember the simple joy of pouring a bowl of cereal? That satisfying crunch, the splash of cold milk, it was a morning ritual, a moment of peace before the day began. For decades, the front of the box told us everything we needed to know. Heart healthy, made with whole grains, a good source of fiber. But here's the stinging truth. From most brands, that's just a mask. Many popular cereals, even the ones that aren't covered in marshmallows, are little more than dessert in disguise. They are loaded with staggering amounts of added sugar, artificial flavorings, and highly refined grains that have been stripped of their nutrients. Think about this. A single serving of some adult cereals, the ones with pictures of wheat fields on the box, can contain more sugar than a frosted donut. And who eats just one serving? Most of us pour a bowl that's 2 or 3 times the tiny portion size listed on the label without a second thought. A former food scientist revealed a trick called flavor masking. This is where manufacturers use a powerful blend of artificial vanilla, salt, and sweeteners to make processed grains taste earthy and natural. This combination sends your blood sugar on a roller coaster, causing a sharp spike followed by a hard energy crash. For seniors managing diabetes, blood pressure, or heart health, those hidden sugars and sodium levels are a silent enemy, actively working against every goal you and your doctor have set. The box still whispers healthy, but the reality is a product engineered for a long shelf life and massive sales, not for your nourishment. If your breakfast starts the day with more sugar than a candy bar, it's time to stop reading the front of the box and start examining the back. Number 2, light frozen diet meals. They sit perfectly stacked in the freezer aisle, their clean, tidy boxes promising a guilt-free life. Fewer calories, less fat, and total convenience. For busy people or older adults living alone, they seem like the perfect answer. Just heat and eat. No mess, no fuss. But just because a meal is low in calories doesn't mean it's nourishing. In fact, it's often the opposite. Many frozen diet meals are ultra-processed, packed with chemical preservatives and alarmingly high levels of sodium to make up for the lack of flavor. What you're really getting is a tiny portion of overcooked, mushy vegetables, a sauce that's mostly salt and thickeners, and a protein source that's been pressed and shaped with additives to mimic the texture of real meat. A former factory worker described how meat patties would arrive as giant frozen blocks of a meat-like blend, only to be shaped and textured to look like a home-cooked meal. The biggest problem? These meals are designed to leave you hungry. They're critically low in fiber and healthy fats, the two things that signal to your brain that you're full. So you eat your light meal, but an hour later, you're rummaging through the pantry for a snack, completely canceling out any calorie savings. One retired nurse shared a shocking story. She switched to these meals to lose weight, but her blood pressure actually went up despite eating fewer calories. The culprit was the massive hidden sodium load. These meals create a dangerous illusion. You feel like you're making a smart choice, but if your healthy dinner leaves you tired, bloated, and still hungry, it's not health you're microwaving, it's just good marketing. Number 3, bottled fruit juice that says 100%. The word juice feels wholesome. It conjures memories of childhood breakfasts and sunny afternoons. So when a bottle proudly declares 100%, we take it at its word. We believe we're drinking liquid fruit, a pure and simple source of vitamins. But the label doesn't tell the whole story. The real issue isn't just what's in the bottle, it's what's missing. When a whole fruit is turned into juice, the most valuable part, the fiber, is almost completely stripped away. Fiber is what helps your body absorb sugar slowly and steadily. Without it, you're left with a highly concentrated glass of sugar water. A single glass of apple juice can have the sugar equivalent of 4 whole apples, but it hits your system like a can of soda. This causes a rapid blood sugar spike, followed by an inevitable crash that can leave you feeling foggy and fatigued. For anyone managing insulin sensitivity or diabetes, this is not just an inconvenience, it's a risk. Worse yet, some brands use a process called flavor packing. The juice is stored in massive oxygen-deprived tanks for up to a year, which makes it lose all its natural flavor. To make it taste fresh again, manufacturers add back artificially engineered flavor packs, which are chemical aromas designed to mimic the scent of freshly squeezed fruit. The label can still legally say 100% juice, but what you're drinking is more chemistry than citrus. It's time to choose the whole fruit and leave the sugary water on the shelf.
Number 4. Packaged granola bars pretending to be nutritious. Granola bars have mastered the art of disguise. Wrapped in earthy colors with images of mountains, oats, and nuts, they feel like nature's perfect on-the-go snack. You can toss one in your bag and feel good about your choice. But if you flip that bar over, you'll find that most are just candy bars with a better publicist. Many are held together by a sticky glue of refined grains, corn syrup, and hydrogenated oils. The oats might be there, but they're often glazed in sugar. The fruit is often a paste made from fruit concentrate and more sugar. And that yogurt drizzle on top, it's usually a frosting made of sugar and oil. A nutritionist put it perfectly. If it has a frosting, it's a dessert, not a health food. Food manufacturers are masters of hiding sugar. They use multiple different kinds and list them under confusing names like brown rice syrup, fructose, maltodextrin, or dextrose. You might see 5 or 6 different types of sugar on one ingredient list. For older adults who need steady, reliable energy, these bars are a trap. They provide a quick, frantic burst of energy followed by a deep slump that leaves you feeling worse than before. It's not that all bars are bad, but when a snack that markets itself as wholesome is actually a carefully engineered sugar bomb, it's something worth chewing on. Number 5. Deli meats that only appear fresh. There's something reassuring about the deli counter. You see the meat being sliced right in front of you, and it feels fresher, more authentic than the prepackaged stuff. But the illusion of freshness often starts and ends at the slicer. The truth is, most of the large logs of ham, turkey, and roast beef arrive at the store pre-cooked, pre-seasoned, and pre-treated in vacuum-sealed bags. They are already highly processed foods, loaded with preservatives designed to extend their shelf life. Nutritionists have long warned about nitrates and nitrites, chemical preservatives used in deli meats to maintain that pink, fresh color and prevent bacterial growth. Long-term exposure to these additives, especially in processed red meats, has been linked to serious health concerns. Even the natural or uncured labels can be deceiving. These products often use celery powder, which is a natural source of nitrates. Your body treats these natural nitrates the exact same way it treats the synthetic ones. And that low-sodium version can still pack enough salt to send your blood pressure soaring, putting a single sandwich close to your entire recommended daily limit. Have you ever noticed a slimy, jelly-like coating or a rubbery, uniform texture? That's not your imagination. It's the result of different meat scraps being bound together with starches and water, then pressed into a perfect log. It's designed to be sliced neatly, not to be cleaned for your body. The deli counter sells convenience, but the price might be higher than you think. Number 6. Canned soups that promise comfort. Opening a can of soup is like opening a memory. The pop of the lid, the familiar aroma, it can take you right back to being a kid, sick at home, and being cared for. It still feels like a hug in a bowl. But that nostalgic comfort is hiding a harsh reality. Most modern canned soups are a chemical concoction of salt, sugar, and fillers. A single can of a classic like chicken noodle or tomato soup can contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium, nearly a full day's worth for someone managing heart health. And the serving sizes are tricky. If you eat the whole can, you could be doubling that number. To create a homemade taste without the time or expense, manufacturers rely on flavor enhancers like MSG and yeast extract. The broth is often just a thin base thickened with cornstarch and sugar to give it a richer feel. A former food production worker described enormous vats where base powders, water, and colorants were mixed to create something that looked appealing but had almost no real nutritional value. And the vegetables? They are often boiled into mush during the canning process, losing most of their vitamins long before they reach your spoon. That made with real chicken claim might just mean a few sad, shredded bits of processed meat. We reach for canned soup because it feels simple and healing, but when it's overloaded with salt and synthetic flavors, you have to ask if that comfort is worth the cost. Number 7. Instant noodles that pretend to be a meal. For late nights, tight budgets, or moments when you just can't be bothered to cook, instant noodles have always been there. They're cheap, fast, and deliver a powerful punch of salty, savory flavor in minutes. But nutritionists call them one of the most nutritionally empty foods on the planet. The noodles themselves are often flash fried in palm oil, a fat high in unhealthy saturated fats, to make them shelf stable. That flavor packet is the real villain. It's a carefully engineered powder of salt, MSG, artificial flavorings, and chemical preservatives like TBHQ, a compound that has been restricted in some countries due to health concerns. The impact is immediate. One woman shared that she relied on instant noodles while recovering from surgery because they were easy. Within weeks, her doctor was alarmed to see her blood pressure had skyrocketed. As soon as she switched back to simple, home-cooked meals, it returned to normal. Beyond the salt and fat, these noodles have virtually no fiber or protein. This means they fill your stomach for a moment, but leave you feeling hungry and unsatisfied shortly after. And here's the trick. A single brick of noodles is often listed as 2 servings. Most of us eat the whole thing, unknowingly consuming double the sodium and fat on the label. Instant noodles sell a feeling of comfort, but it's a comfort that comes with a long-term price tag.
Number 8. Healthy muffins that are just cake in disguise. Choosing a muffin over a donut feels like a responsible decision. It's the grown-up choice, a little treat without the guilt. But in reality, most muffins you buy at coffee shops or grocery stores are simply unfrosted cupcakes. Many muffins labeled bran, whole wheat, or low fat are a trap. They can contain more sugar, more refined flour, and more calories than a slice of chocolate cake. The fruit inside is rarely just fruit. It's often a sweetened fruit-like filling or concentrate. The oils used to keep them moist are the same unhealthy ones found in processed snack cakes. A former bakery employee revealed that their freshly baked blueberry muffins arrived as frozen pucks of dough, pre-mixed with artificial blueberry flavor and sweetened berry bits. They were more lab creation than baked good. Because they're so dense, it's easy to underestimate their impact. A single large Morning Glory muffin from a cafe can have over 400 calories and 40 grams of sugar. That's a dessert, not a breakfast. For anyone watching their blood sugar, these muffins are silent saboteurs, spiking your energy before sending it crashing down. We think of muffins as wholesome, but when the ingredients look like a cake recipe, it's time to call them what they are. Number 9. Microwave popcorn and its hidden cost. It's the official sound of movie night. That familiar pop, pop, pop from the microwave feels like a harmless, fun-filled treat. It's just corn, right? Unfortunately, the convenience comes with a chemical catch. The problem starts with the bag itself.
For years, the inside of microwave popcorn bags was coated with chemicals called PFCs to prevent the grease from leaking out. These forever chemicals have been linked to a host of health issues and are slowly being phased out, but older stock can still be in circulation. Then there's the butter flavor. It's rarely butter. It's often a synthetic chemical compound called diacetyl mixed with palm oil and artificial colors. While the risk is highest for factory workers who inhale it, regularly opening a steaming bag in your kitchen raises questions for long-term health. And of course, there's the salt. Even the light versions can be loaded with sodium and stabilizers. The bottom line is this: popcorn can be a healthy, high-fiber snack when you make it yourself on the stovetop with a little real oil and a sprinkle of salt. But the version in the chemically lined bag is a different story entirely. Number 11. Flavored yogurts that are basically pudding. Yogurt once had an unshakable reputation as a health food. A cup in the morning was a great source of protein and probiotics for a healthy gut. But the yogurt aisle today is a minefield of sugar. Most flavored yogurts, from fruit on the bottom to vanilla, are so packed with sugar and thickeners they are nutritionally closer to a pudding cup. Many single-serving cups contain 15 to 20 grams of sugar, which is more than a glazed donut. The fruit is usually a sugary jam, and the creamy texture often comes from modified cornstarch, not from healthy fats. Even worse, the low-fat and fat-free versions are often the biggest offenders. When manufacturers remove the fat, they have to add in more sugar and chemical stabilizers to make it taste good. What you're left with is a high-sugar, low-nutrient product that wears a health halo. While plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt remains a powerhouse of protein, the flavored varieties have become a dessert in disguise. They offer a moment of indulgence that feels responsible, but the sugar content tells a very different story. Number 12. Salad dressings that undo the whole salad. You did the right thing. You made a beautiful, crisp salad full of fresh greens and colorful vegetables. It's the definition of a healthy meal. But then you reach for the salad dressing, and in one pour, you can unknowingly sabotage all of your good intentions. Many store-bought dressings, even the ones labeled light or organic, are a cocktail of unhealthy ingredients. Creamy dressings like ranch and Caesar are often loaded with saturated fat, sugar, and sodium. But even vinaigrettes are sneaky. Most use cheap soybean or canola oil as a base and add in high fructose corn syrup and chemical emulsifiers to keep the dressing from separating on the shelf. The serving size is another trap. It's usually listed as 2 tablespoons, but most people pour on far more than that. You could easily be adding hundreds of extra calories and more sodium than a bag of chips right onto your healthy salad. And here's the most ironic part. Fat-free dressings are often worse. They replace fat with sugar and gums. Plus, your body needs healthy fats, like the kind in olive oil, to absorb the essential fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, from the vegetables in your salad. By using a fat-free dressing, you are literally preventing your body from getting the full nutritional benefit of the salad itself. Number 13. Energy bars that do more harm than good. They are strategically placed by the checkout counter, promising power, fuel, and endurance in a convenient wrapper. For anyone needing a quick pick-me-up, they seem like a smart choice. But the energy in most of these bars comes from a massive dose of sugar. A nutritionist have said that many are just candy bars with added protein powder. The protein often comes from highly processed soy or whey isolates, not from whole foods. The energy rush you feel is from a quick-hitting blend of different syrups, which inevitably leads to a crash. Many bars are also packed with sugar alcohols like maltitol and erythritol. While they don't have calories, they can cause significant bloating, gas, and digestive distress, especially in those with sensitive stomachs. Some bars also contain hidden caffeine from sources like green tea extract, which can be a problem for people monitoring their heart health. These bars sell a promise of high performance, but they are just a shortcut to a sugar crash and an upset stomach. They are a quiet problem that no one warns you about until it's too late. Number 14. Vegetable chips that are no better than potato chips. They look so much healthier. The bag shows pictures of real beets, carrots, and sweet potatoes. The colors are beautiful and earthy. Snacking on vegetable chips feels like a guilt-free indulgence. But in most cases, they are just potato chips in a clever costume. Most veggie chips are made from starchy root vegetables that are sliced thin, deep-fried in oil, and coated in salt. The high heat of frying destroys many of the delicate nutrients in the original vegetable. What's left is mostly starch, fat, and salt. Some brands even cheat by using vegetable powders to coat regular potato or corn chips, creating the illusion of health without any of the benefits. The phrase, "made with real vegetables" on the front of the bag can be legally true even if vegetables make up a tiny fraction of the ingredients. A former snack food developer put it best: if it crunches like a chip and tastes like a chip, it's a chip. For anyone watching their salt intake, these are particularly deceptive. The light, airy texture makes it easy to eat far more than a serving size. The truth is, you're not eating a serving of vegetables. You're eating a bag of chips. The food industry has spent billions of dollars to make you trust the front of the package. But the real story, the one that affects your health, your energy, and your future, is almost always written in the fine print on the back. If this video opened your eyes or made you think twice about what's in your own pantry, let us know. Give this video a thumbs up to spread the word, share your own story in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel. Join our community of smart consumers who are learning to see past the marketing and demand better for their health, because the most powerful choice you can make is an informed one.